Yo, what's up, guys? It's Riggs. Since today is the first day of my quarantine, because my job's just shut down, I figured I would remake my candy skip video that I had done a couple months ago and never uploaded. I lost all the footage. Can't find it. Don't know what the fuck happened to it, but it's gone. So, since I've got nothing to do today, I figured I would go through what the candy scene is, explain the revolving trigger. I'm going to slow down the game for 50%, and we're going to talk about Chrono's animations to watch for, and then I'm going to go over 3 different setups. So, first off, let's just look at the candy scene. Takes about 25 seconds. So, as you're trying to go into Luca's little demonstration of her teleporter, you get stopped by Meryl because she wants to eat some fucking candy. This fucking girl and her fucking candy. But, you know, she's super happy that you did that for her. So that's the candy scene. If I time it, I believe this whole transition takes about 25 seconds. But, we'll look at that now. Uh, 21 seconds to get through that map with the candy scene. So let me... Oh, nope, here it is. Okay. So now that you've seen the candy scene, there's a revolving trigger on this bottom step that my party is now walking on, and it rotates from this bottom step up to past the point of transitioning into this map. So, if we... There are a couple ways to do this, right? So that's skipping, that's the candy skip right there. I just ran right through, didn't need to stop. Meryl tried to run back, but you know what, I've already hit the transition and the loading barrier, so there's really... There's no reason to watch that scene, except for when you come back from 600 AD. So, what we are going to do now that I've showed you the candy skip, I've showed you the candy scene, I'm going to slow the game down. We're going to talk about animations. Oh god, you guys don't want to hear that. Hold on. Okay, I get to hear the choppy ass music, but I'm not gonna do that to you guys. So as you can see, we're running at 50%. I am running the game on an emulator, so there is that. So with Chrono's running animation, if you continue to hold forward in any direction where it actually stops Chrono, he will start shaking his head. And that is actually the animation that we want to watch for when we are doing the candy skip. As soon as his head turns to the left, that is going to be the cue to run up and left as soon as you get there. So, doing this at 50% is going to be a little awkward, but I'm gonna try it. I only started trying this today. I've never done this at 50% speed. It is hella awkward. Okay. So that was the candy skip at 50%. And what I did there was I ran straight through the barrier and I went up behind this flag right here. I'm just going to run into that little corner real quick and show you. Oh no. Okay, so you get into this corner right here. The farther behind the flag you can get, the better. I used to have Chrono sticking out, like I would just get into a little nook right here, and it actually makes the skip very inconsistent, because there's 3 places that you can stop behind this flag. One is a little further back. There's a small nook and then there's another small nook that you can get trapped in as long as you are holding up and to the right. So you want to be as far behind the flag as possible. And as soon as you get there, and the reason I talk about Chrono's running animation is because as soon, it might be like right as you see his head go to the left, you want to move up and to the left. And you are always holding directions while doing this. You're holding up and to the right and up and to the left immediately. So you'll have to play with the timing because it takes a long time to get it down. I do it more by feeling, but when I started doing it and getting it consistently, when I was practicing it all the time, I would watch for the animation. And watching for his head just to move a little bit at 50% speed, I can't do it all that well because I'm so not used to it. Okay, but now that we've talked about animations, I'm going to talk about routing, because there's 3 different ways that I've found that you can do this. One is the way that everybody does it for New Game Plus. It's where you just run up, run under here, go behind the flag, and immediately run past. I obviously cannot do this today. I did it one time and that was great. But that's the usual way to do it. There are a couple other ways where it actually feels better to me because I do it all by timing. So you can do it this way, right? That's my personal favorite. That's the one I've practiced the most now. It actually feels super good because when you're doing it, and I'll do this again, you're running up, you're holding each direction for like a specified amount of time, and the switching kind of, you get into a rhythm of when to do it. It feels kind of like driving. Instead of running up, holding one direction, and then having to change your directions really quickly. It feels more musical when I go to the right and do that whole weird shenanigans. The setup for that is you're constantly holding up and to the right so that you're pushing against the wall here. Chrono will slide off and you want to hit the flag right here. So Chrono will start down here, you'll run up, you'll hit the flag, you see his feet touch, and you immediately switch from up and to the right to up and to the left until you get to the inside. My trigger point, if you can see my mouse now on my emulator, is right to the side of these bowls here. And when I reach the side of the bowls, like how I'm lined up right now, Chrono's kind of about to hit them. It'll push him to the right a little bit. And as soon as I get to that point, I go up and to the right. I tuck myself in the nook, wait for his head to turn, and immediately dash off and to the left. You are never going to be letting go of directional inputs at any point during this. So it's up right, and up left again. So, like I said, it kind of feels like driving. That's my favorite. The first one I found that worked consistently, other than running up and through the bell, is you run up to this little mark here. This crack right in the middle of the stairs. You run up to here, and then you go up and to the left until you hit the grass, or a little farther off. Once Chrono is off of the grass, then you'll go up and to the right, and then once Chrono's hair gets to about the lady's feet, or her dress, or arm height, because it looks like his hair is right at her elbow, then you'll run up just a little bit, and then into this nook, right? So, if I can do that real quick. Yeah. So, This one I actually practiced for a long time, because it feels really good when you hit it, but it's kind of awkward. Like, you have to make sure that Chrono actually, like, if you get to about here and you run up and to the right, and you actually glide off of this side of the bell. And if you don't glide off of the side of the bell, then you have actually gone too far, and you are going to hit the revolving trigger right as you get into the nook, because you've gone too far to the left. So, I'll try and run through them again. I'm going to do this one more time. I waited too long on that one, so I'm just going to skip it. I'm going to do this one. I did that one way too fast. I didn't go I didn't go far enough to the left before I ran up and to the right, so my timing was all off. And then you have the main one, where you just... Yeah. So those are the 3 ways that you can do the candy skip. We've talked about the revolving trigger. We've gone through the animations at 50% C speed, so if you need to watch them. What I actually did when I was doing this, if you go onto the Speedrunning Wiki for Chrono Trigger, there is an Isla animation that does her kind of dance that helps you time your loads. I use that for New Game Plus as well, but for doing this, as soon as she just goes to the side, if you have that timing down, it's like a 1, 2, 3, 4, then it's kind of the exact timing as it takes for Chrono to move his head in one direction. So if that helps, you can go and kind of find the BPM for that animation, try and look at it along with Chrono's running into a wall animation, time his hair movement that you can see right here. And if you practice it, you'll be good. Just remember to get far enough behind the flag, because that is another big point. Thanks for hanging out. This is my candy skip tutorial. Sorry it took me so long, Keith. I love you. Bye, guys.